I don't want to set the world on fire. I just want to start a flame in your heart.
When I got Xbox Game Pass last year, one of the first games I checked out was Fallout 4. I'd played it at a friend's house and I really wanted to check it out. I went through the character creator and opening sequence, taking in the slightly outdated but still beautiful graphics of this world, both before and after the nuclear apocalypse. The terrifying opening sets the tone perfectly for the rest of the game. It establishes a world on the edge of collapse, of people for whom the world has already ended. Then you step out into the light, the irradiated world, and only then do you see the real beauty of this game, the freedom. This game is the closest in terms of freedom to something like Dungeons & Dragons of any game I've ever played. Really, this game is Dungeons & Dragons, just set after an apocalypse. Bethesda is the dungeon master, providing you with a sandbox and a story that you can affect and change. It allows for nearly every option you can think of. Kill Codsworth? Sure. Befriend a dog? Absolutely. Murder every character? Yeah, and the plot still continues. The freedom of Fallout is something I hadn't really experienced before, being a Call of Duty and multiplayer kind of guy myself, and I absolutely loved it. I finished most of the side quests and got a bit tired of it, so I went back through the Game Pass library. Well, Fallout 4 was great, so I'll check out New Vegas. That's usually held as one of the best games of all time, and I checked it out, and after a little while, I felt a little bit of disappointment. This game was not actually that great, or at least it wasn't what I was looking for. But the only real difference between Fallout New Vegas and Fallout 4 is the gunplay. The combat in Fallout 4 is slower paced and a bit tactical. You run between cover, lining up headshots, and entering vats to hit shots at greater speed and farther distances. The gunplay is very basic, but it feels good and it gets the job done. In New Vegas, you spam the trigger at an enemy until the enemy dies. The combat may be pretty basic, but it's not the main focus of the game. VATS is heavily emphasized, but that's still no excuse for a weak combat system. The reason I disliked New Vegas was for the lack of depth in combat, which is a substantial piece of the game. Fallout 4 was vastly better at this. Some would say Fallout New Vegas is superior because of the writing and world building. And that may be true, but when it forces you to engage in the monotonous combat to reach it, I believe it's not really worth it. So why do I like Fallout 4 more than every other RPG? Because of balance. The gunplay is smooth and well constructed, the dialogue is well written, and the exploration is great, with much of the world benefiting from the unique art style of the Fallout series. Overall, the game is balanced and high quality. That's why I believe Fallout 4 is the best single-player RPG I've ever played.
I don't want to set the world on fire. I just want to start a flame in your heart.